Hi, just got off the phone with a property owner that we managed, and she is attempting to go into her the unit, even though there's a tenant without any notice. Now, what's going on is a little bit more innocent than all that, but we can't let owners go in without 24 hours, legal 24 hours notice, or the tenant's permission. And this tenant is quite accommodating, so I think we could probably work something out. What's happening is the owner lives in Hawaii, and I believe she purchased this property sight unseen. So she bought a condominium from distance away. Condominium needed significant work, and as soon as we actually took her on as a client, we immediately found a tenant. So a tenant was looking at another unit in the building. She was aware that we had this unit that was coming to market, and she begged and pleaded with us to see it. And I actually did take her in to see it myself, begrudgingly, because it was a god-awful mess. Needed new rugs and needed to be painted, needs new countertops, needs everything. Well, she fell in love with it, and it is a really cool unit. It's a really cool building in general. It's a condominium. It's on a pier here in Philadelphia. The pier goes out over the water. You have a lot of amenities, and your unit is basically facing the water, and it's the boat docks are right there. So a very unique, kind of a special property. So I can understand why she fell in love with it. She was willing to move in, even though we told her, like, look, we're doing significant renovations. If you want to move in now and live through these, she's quite accommodating. She said, absolutely, so I'll do whatever it takes to take this unit. Now the owner is visiting from Hawaii and would like to pop in and see her unit. And I guess he's actually at the building now, trying to get into her unit. The problem with that is the tenant legally needs 24 hours notice, and they deserve at least 24 hours notice before somebody enters the property. So I had to tell the owner no. It's not something that's legally allowed. It's not something we think is actually, should be expected anyways. The tenant is now the legal user of this space. And that's what's actually happening with a lease. You're actually giving up your rights to something you own for duration in exchange for consideration. The consideration being rent. So the tenant is paying you rent, and in exchange, they are now the controller of the controller, the user of that space. It's their space for the duration of the lease. So I'm sure we can actually work something out. I've already spoken with the tenant. I don't think she's going to care if the owner pops in and sees the renovations that we've have done so far and gets a chance to see her unit. And if the tenant gives her a go-ahead, then the owner has a legal right to go in. And if we feel that the tenant is giving her a go-ahead and genuine and is sincere about it, then everything's fine. But yes, 24 hours notice is required before you enter a property, and it's also the right thing to do.